Today we got some great information to talk a little bit about Kathmandu and what the heck is going on in Sturgis if you haven't booked yet. So let's get right down to it.
And we're going to tell you where we're staying.
You know, you already got to start thinking about 2024 Sturgis Rally. You know, what we found out, because typically over the years, we don't really book till around January. That's usually the time that I usually start thinking, you know, let's put that down. Christmas is behind us now. Let's go ahead and get booked up. It's just a few months away. We got about 8 months, or actually about 7 months before Sturgis kicks up. So let's start thinking about figuring out where we're going to stay at. That's the way we used to do it. Okay, so now what we started thinking about, because we actually got approached by Kathmandu before we left, and they wanted to set us up. And so what we want to tell you a little bit about Kathmandu is, first of all, somebody sent us an email, which we already knew, and we didn't really say a whole lot about this, that Kathmandu is changing owners again. Just to let you know, this is the third owner that we've had since we've been going to Sturgis. A lot of campgrounds do that. They roll through, different people will buy them, invest in them, things like that. So that's not an uncommon thing to see a campground in Sturgis sell. Because people get to as they get older, a lot of trouble, a lot of times getting in here. A lot of these campgrounds are only open just for the rally. It's a lot of work. But what's happening with this one is the new owners' names are
Brent, Barry and Lynette Larson.
Yeah, they're great people. They're actually South Dakotans.
Yep.
They actually already live. They have a place out in, is it Sioux Falls?
Somewhere out that way.
We're not going to give you the exact place address.
Yep.
We don't want to tell you
But
exactly.
they have a farm out there.
Yep. So they get into cattle and all this. Well, they also bought them a really nice log cabin there in Sturgis. It's up on one of the hills. And so they were thinking that her husband, that's actually, she just got done. I originally met Brent when we came to
Kathmandu this year at the end of the rally.
Yep. We went down there to get a banner. And we went down there, we were talking to Mike. That's who we've been dealing with these last 5 years. We've been dealing with Mike, probably a little longer. I think he's had 7 or 8 years. Yeah. And I've been dealing with Mike, and he says, I just want to let you know we're going to have a new owner. And he says, I'm selling the campground. I'm like, man, I can't believe you're selling the campground. He said, which he did. The first time we met him, he said he's going to keep it about 5 years and he'd be gone. He's from Texas. So he said, this is a gentleman here, Brent. And so I met him and talked to him, and he didn't know nothing about campgrounds. And so I told him, you know, we've been doing this for a long time now. We've been camping forever. I've been camping since 1964, kind of tells you how old I am. She's been camping since about 1976. When we started going out, she started dating me, and we started going camping with my parents. And then we've been camping all along with the kids and all that, and did all that, and still do that. So we got a lot of experience camping. And then also with the rallies, we've done, you know, probably nobody's been to as many rallies as we've been to, all the different ones we've been to. So, but to get to that, we just told him, hey, if you need any help or any assistance or ask any questions, we're here to actually help you and take you out. And he said, well, what do you think? You know, he's thinking about some things. He was just throwing off the top of his head. You know, what do you think makes this campground so great? I said, first of all, the first thing is this has to be, Kathmandu has always had the cleanest bathrooms anywhere. They've cleaned them as you leave. They've always been really clean. They've been great. Another thing is they got the big bus that takes you downtown. It's not a freaking school bus. It's a big old giant. I know I'll flash a picture up here. I'll flash a picture up here of the bus. But I mean, it's gigantic. And it's air conditioned and all that. So, you know, that's always going running. It takes you right downtown. You don't have to get on the bus. It takes you to 5 different campgrounds before you get there. This one takes you down, drops you off, picks you up, takes you back. And it runs all evening long. So that's really great. And he says, and I said, it's also, it's quiet. You
don't have to buy a wristband either.
At 11 o'clock at night, you know, you can sleep. You don't have to worry about your neighbor blasting his stereo all night long, playing some stupid music you're not interested in, you know. So he said, well, here's something. He says, what do you think? I said, one, you need to fix the roads. The roads the asphalt's kind of broken up and stuff. It needs to be re-asphalted. That's my only thing I think you really need to do. And he said, you know, I'm also thinking about maybe bringing some bands in the evenings. I said, well, that'd be great. But what you want to do is, one, you want to have the bands not play all freaking night. You want it over by about 11 o'clock. So those people that want to go to bed early, it was known for being quiet. Right. Don't want to chase those people off. And he said, okay, that sounds good. And I said, well, you also want to get a band that doesn't play so freaking loud that if you've ever been to Kathmandu, they've got like a steel building there. They got a little bar outside, got a few bar stools at. And then on the side where we did a live a couple years ago from there and did a meet and greet, there's some tables out there. I said it'd be really great to where they could play inside the steel building, but yet we could still sit outside and still be able to talk. Yeah. Because that's the thing. Some people want to, I want to hear music, but I don't want it so freaking loud. Like one of the bands, what was that stupid band they had at Buffalo Chip?
Pop Evil.
They were so freaking loud, your ears rang.
Yes.
And we're sitting way in the back. past the road. So that's some of the neat things that they're thinking about. They have one big thing that they're looking to majorly update, but we're not going to give out that information yet because they've got one contractor to do it, but they're waiting on the second one, and they're not sure. The one can do it right now, but they're looking at a commercial one, and they can't do it till next year. So we don't want to give that secret out.
So the special secret is either going to be this spring or it may not be till next year.
So we're not going to say a whole lot about
2025.
that. So they're really good. Right now, if you call Kathmandu, she answers the phone.
Lynette.
So she's there to talk to you and stuff, and Tam talked to her for quite a while on the phone. Very nice people. They bought this because to keep her husband busy when they're in the Sturgis area. He's like me, he's got to be doing something all the time. So the campground's his new toy. That he's going to be playing.
She's getting tired of the farm life and wants to come back kind of to the city. She was raised in the Black Hills and she really wanted to come back, and so they decided.
Green Acres is that like
That's what I said. It's kind of like Green Acres, huh? She said sort of like that. So she's kind of in charge, I guess, of daily operations, and then he's in charge of. She's the brain, he's the muscle. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty neat. They still have a few spots available. If you want to go and stay with us at Kathmandu, we have some electric and water hookups that are around us. And the nice thing about this campground is they are going to be open all season. So they're going to be opening sometime before Memorial Day, and they'll be there after Labor Day. So that's kind of the neat thing that's about them. So like in our case, we're going to be there on their property on June 23rd already. We'll be there all the way through the rally. So we'll be there doing rides. So if you're somebody that's thinking about, hey, maybe I'll just come out for the week or two before the rally. Well, if you come out, you're more than happy to go riding with us when we're out and about, doing some of the events that we do and check out. This is always stuff. They have the three-wheel rally goes on before that. They also have the rodeo that's going on before that. They have one of the car shows. It's not the Mustang one, but one of them's right before. I don't know. One of them's right before.
Jeep? I don't know.
I'm not sure which one it is. There's some really great information we'll give you down here that's going to give you the links to the Kathmandu and also the phone number. Best thing to do is call them. Call them. I always say that about anything. If you're going anywhere in Sturgis, make sure you always call first before you book online. Why? Especially the hotels. When we did the hotel series last year, they don't honor the rates that are on their websites. Sturgis, they charge more money. So if you book on Orbitz or you went to Best Western or wherever you booked your site at, when you get there, they're going to want more money. And that's just the way it is. So we always tell people, call first. So if you want to stay at Kathmandu, give them a call first. What does she want? Does she want you to do it online? Does she want you to do it on the phone? Pappy Hill, Buffalo Chip, all those, I would call first. If not, then once you book, then you call them and say, do you have my reservation? Right. Yes, here's the number. I'm sending you a confirmation email. So that way you have something to hold in your hand when you get there. Because we've heard horror stories from people that show up at a campground or at a hotel and they're like, we don't have any room for you. You're not booked. So Sturgis is a big one. Also, we hear it in Daytona and Myrtle Beach and some of these other ones too. But Sturgis, because it's such a big event, we see it a lot more there. So there's just some real big tips here to start thinking about. And if you're thinking about going, some of the campgrounds I've already heard all their full hookups are already gone. I can't think which one it was that something I just seen the other day on the website said they had one left. And so that's gone now. So a lot of the smaller campgrounds, Ride and Rest, and a lot of the smaller ones like that have already sold out of their full hookup. So if you're looking for a full hookup, you might have to do some calling around to see what's available. Kathmandu, I think they're out of their full hookups now. They didn't ask, but they probably are. But the ones around us are electric and water. And we also have places there for tent camping and stuff like that if you want to tent camp. And what's the nice thing about Kathmandu is if you come in and there's only two of you, it's just that price and that's it. There's no wristbands to buy. Now, anybody over two people, third person has to pay, I think it's $120 for each additional person that's there. Now, everybody gets a wristband to come in that just gets you in and out of the campground.
That's so they know that you're actually camping there.
Yeah, they don't want troublemakers coming in and things like that. So, but I mean, it's really neat. They're looking to do a bunch of remodeling. I think they're going to redo the bar. They're going to put a store in. There's a bunch of neat stuff they're going to be doing before Sturgis gets here. And we'll be reporting on that when we get there in June. We'll be showing you all the great stuff that they've done. We'll let you meet them guys in person, put them on camera and stuff so you guys can see who they are.
Maybe. Mike never liked to go on camera.
But we'll get him on. We'll get these guys. I think these two will come on. And so we'll get them on to say a few things about their campground, welcome you all out, and hopefully they'll have some fun there. And I think it's really great. And if they keep it the way it is and just do some great updates on it, I think it'll be a really great place to stay and be pretty neat. And
just as always,
it's always nice to bring in new money and a new thinking, and because it kind of updates a campground and brings in some new stuff. Not saying
new
that,
ideas.
Yeah, not saying like I say. The only thing I always had these last 2 years was Kathmandu is the road's a little rough. And it's a little tough for riding the bike and stuff on. There's no big holes, but I mean, the asphalt's kind of
It's just not even. It's, you know, there'll be asphalt and then rocks and then.
So they just kind of need to re-asphalt the whole thing over and be done, and then it'd be nice. And that was one of the things we didn't mention. I think we mentioned in one of our Sturgis videos that when we went around to all the campgrounds afterwards, they're one of the only campgrounds in the county now, this is talking in the county, that did not have mud during the rain.
Right.
That's what the county told me.
Well, I think because it's pretty level. It's not hilly.
And then also, somebody also said that Days Inn, they didn't have any mud, but they're in the city. They're not in the county. And so they're in the city. So I know there's a few other small campgrounds that have main roads coming through and they're more level. They don't have most of the campgrounds you see, like the Buffalo Chip, you're looking up there, like the Buffalo Chip. It was muddy in the fields. But I mean, the main roads coming through were asphalt. You had no problem where we were at. We had no problem getting in and out with our bikes. Golf cart, truck, had no problem getting in and out. We weren't stuck, but yes, there was the hill there in the back was really bad. Yeah. And up on the top 40 up there, that got a little muddy up there. And so that's the way it is. So,
it rained. Yeah. Mother Nature, there's nothing you can do about it.
That's what we always tell people. Be prepared for anything. Sturgis can have tornadoes. The only thing you can't have is hurricanes. Other than that, anything else is fair game. Snow, rain, sleet,
hail,
all the above. And then all that could happen in the same day.
It could.
So with that,
depending on where you're at.
Yeah. So with that, if you're thinking about staying with us, Kathmandu, go ahead and give them a call today. Book it as soon as you can, because the spots are going to go. And I think this is going to be the next 2 years, I think are going to be really big in Sturgis. The 84th and the 85th. I think it's going to be, the 85th may even surpass the 75th.
We'll wait and see.
I'm looking at this as we're all getting older. And it's just like I say, I don't know after the 85th if we'll continue to do this or not. I don't know. It'd be hard to, I don't know. But I know right now I'm willing to make a commitment for the next 2 years that we're going to be doing rallies and we'll be doing videos and stuff like that on that. But I just don't know how much more I want to keep traveling and going around and doing all this. And I love doing the videos. I love giving you guys great content. But it's just the traveling to these events are just getting to be too much on us. And that's why I say we're doing Daytona one more year next year, doing the spring rallies. But after that, I don't know. It's almost better for us to fly to a rally. We got kind of spoiled with these last two, with Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. And Ocean City. It was very nice to fly in, have a place to stay, have a bike to ride. It was so nice. And because it takes us 5 or 6 days to get from here to Florida. And then with the weather and February, snow and all that stuff we got to deal with, it's just a lot. And then we got to jiggle around trying to find places to stay all that time. And It is what it is. We're glad. I love to do what we do. It's just we started a new channel that you can check down here in the comments down here. Not in the comments, but down in the...
It's not a new channel.
Yeah. It's actually we have a live now that's coming out a couple times a month, and it costs you $7.99. It's a membership. It's kind of like our $2.99 one where you get a sticker now that tells you, it's just a way to help support us. And what we're doing is we just put a video up to let people kind of get a look at what we're going to talk about. But the idea is to talk about things that we normally wouldn't talk about on YouTube. Some of the stories we have, we just went through the one with...
Barney 5.
Yeah, Barney 5 in Wyoming, our very first ride to Sturgis. And so it's very entertaining and stuff that I really didn't want to do on a regular...
It probably wouldn't get many views on a regular
More
YouTube
people
channel.
that are... Because we don't have any pictures or any video or anything on it. It's just us telling a story. And so I thought, people that really like us, really want to know more about us and enjoy listening to what we have to say, it was just another way to give you guys some more information. We got a lot of stories like that. I almost quit YouTube a couple years ago. We're going to talk about that video, talk about that person, what the comments were. We just got a whole lot of neat stuff that we want to pass on to you guys if you want to know more about us. And then also if there's stuff that you guys, sometimes people ask me for a channel, like they might say, hey, can you do one on your seat? Well, I can't do a whole video on my seat because it's a very unique seat and it's not
everybody's going to want to watch it.
And so I probably get a couple hundred views and that would be it. Well, then YouTube pushes me down because it's not a good video. Not enough people watched it. So my next video comes out the next day, they're not pushing it up. So it might be a great video, but they don't get me enough comments or viewers to see.
Don't recommend it.
Yeah. So we're going to leave you right here and that's it.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you want to stay with us at Kathmandu, don't forget to tell them that you want to stay next to Bob and Tam. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you on the next video.